Yeah, yeah.
Put on my jacket still. Oh, it's breezy.
You're live right now.
Live?
Yeah.
All right, come on. All right, Shalom. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all glory, praises, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Hakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the brothers that seek truth and sincerity. Shalom to the hopeful elect, one third, the sincere listeners. All right, GMS Toronto and Prophet Doom coming back to you, prophesying the downfall of this wicked kingdom known as Babylon the Great. Okay, and a lot of prophecies unfolding. People are on edge. You don't know what to do. Okay, but we have the answers, right? Um, brothers, have anything in mind to get into? If not, then I want to go into the topic of pretty much the Lord is going to justify us. The Lord is going to deliver us. You know what I mean? The Lord is going to bring us deliverance. He's the one that put us through what we're going through right now. We're all going through tribulation. We're the Israelites. The Israelites are catching hell all throughout the four corners of the earth, right? But it's for our learning, it's for our correction. Okay, not to lose hope that nobody has our back. Man. The Lord has our back. The angels have our back. Yahushai has our back. The Holy Spirit has our back. Okay? It's just to make us better, man. To make us better rulers. That's the mindset you gotta have. You know what I mean? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so bring it on and you got it. All right. Yeah, Isaiah 14 verse 1. It reads, the Lord Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them. Yeah, just they shall flee the house of Jacob. Bigger? No, that's good, bro. Break it down, Art. We're going into we are speaking the time of this beginning. First, we need to prophesy the downfall of and society. Same time to show you that with that destruction, okay, so we are also a deliverance. Yeah, and that deliverance is going to change the people of Israel, so of land, the American. On the one Jacob it was a man of the same name, Jacob. Okay, through his seed, he had 12 sons, which made the total of Israel. Okay, I will show you that only the other part is coming to deliver his people, Israel. All right, it said that and set them in their own land, the land of Israel. Okay, over there in the Palestine area in Palestine, the land belongs to some of like the Native Americans. That's right. Okay, people are there right now. Those are imposters. Okay, people that are there that live, Palestinians or the so-called Israelis, none of those people don't have land. The land is only for the so-called black Native Americans. That's right. Okay, I got a quick preset this one now. Sorry, don't mind. Yeah, go ahead. Ezekiel 36, verse 5, and it says, therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy I have spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession. Yeah, joy of their hearts, right? Because these Amalekites, right? They're basking in the sun in the land of Israel right now. They really think that's their self-appointed land. 1948 or us. Yep, motherfuckers, huh? You know? Yep. Thinking that they got it going on and they wanna fucking expand the land. They wanna get the blessing of Israel and expand through the expansion of the land and all that shit. Greater Israel project and all that. Well, guess what? Here's the thing. The Lord cursed that land right now, man. It's not blessed. It's not fruitful. There's no greenery. They're importing trees over there, man. That place is a wasteland, man. Dry, not bearing no fruit, man. Okay, so that's letting you know that that place is not the real place. That, I mean, those people are not the real people. Salakia. Those people are not the real people. They're imposters. The Lord said, yeah, curse it on them. Highest rates of skin cancer found in that land. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. You don't fit none of the prophecies except you being the wicked. You know what I mean? Yeah. You don't fit none of the prophecies of you being Israelites. Okay, and everybody's waking up to your bullshit now. You know, nobody's feeling sorry for you anymore, right? Go ahead. Another quick point. Right. Just a quick point. Like even you see like the whole story about the Midas touch, where every touch was gold. For them, they have the wicked touch. Everything will touch the wicked, right? This gets reversed, the wicked breaks down, the files. Yeah, it gets the files, right? Animal, everything, right?
Even the Hebrew that they speak was created by a man named Yehuda, Yehuda, right? I think that was his name for the Yehuda, Yehudi, something like that. And he created their Hebrew.
Yiddish, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. He took some of the Arabic and some of the because he said the Arabic is actually like the real Hebrew, like a little bit different, but it's supposed to stay. And he took it and he made it with the Yiddish and he created their Hebrew. Yeah. So it's not even the real thing. It was made like what 18 something. Not real. So how are these the people? Because they don't even know their own fucking history. I mean, the rabbis know, but
Let me add one thing that those people who landed the imposters, they also kill off a lot of the olive trees that the so-called Palestinians use. And if they were the real people, you would actually keep those trees because those trees are actually examples of trees that actually bring forth the fruit. Right? You wouldn't kill off those trees. You would actually keep them because you could use them for oil, anointing purposes. But it shows you that these heathens don't have the mindset, of the chosen people. You're supposed to maintain. There's a certain conduct that comes with maintaining the land, right? Just a little bit more here. It says Ezekiel 36:5 going on. It says, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of their heart, with the spiteful mind, and cast it out for a prey. That's it.
Yeah. Yes. Part in Isaiah 14, verse 2, you read, the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them, the land of the Lord Yahweh, with servants and handmaids.
That's right. So we're gonna have slaves in the kingdom, right? Just like how in this kingdom they got brought up by slaves, right? Free labor. Okay. That they had 300, 400 years of ahead of us of wealth, accelerated wealth, free labor, right? And then they tell you to catch up. Basically, they look at you. Why don't you? I work hard. Why don't you work hard? What the fuck? That's the devil for you, though, right? You know what I mean? So it is. You got it. So the Lord got you. Give you your blessing. This is your blessing. Right? Yeah, that's true. This is it, man. So live it up, man. Max out the credit cards, all of that, man. Okay? We mean that shit from the bottom of our heart.
you're never gonna be empowered again.
Never gonna be empowered.
So enjoy it.
Yeah. So we're the quote unquote slaves in this society, but we have hope, man. Where's your hope? What are those? Come on.
His hope is in the MOTV.
And the Lord's gonna destroy that.
Yeah, it's a joke, man.
Great. It says, verse 3, like I said, put servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
That's right. That's power. That's a blessing. Finally have power over your enemies. Yeah. Rule over them and bring forth judgment on them, and do as you please in righteousness unto them, man. Shit, for 1,000 years, long years, long days, right? Longer days than this. Right now, the Lord's speeding up the time.
True. That's very good point.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, but the Lord's gonna make the days longer. The earth is gonna expand too, brother. The earth is a living organism, right?
Right.
So when everything is back in righteousness, it's gonna grow, man. It's an organism. It grows. Like the oil, everything. Yeah. See what I'm saying? Dude, things got weaker through age. Yeah. See what I'm saying? It's nothing for the Lord to expand the earth to the size of Jupiter or whatever. Yeah. You know what Israelites gonna be on the earth, man? That's good point. Not dying.
Yeah.
This earth.
Yeah,
it needs to expand.
Also, why we're gonna have other planets we can go to.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. But there's gonna be time when we all have to go to Israel.
Yeah, that's true.
To the land of Israel.
Yeah,
it's gonna be big. It's gonna be big. And we're gonna be bigger too.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Come on.
True. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because I put your state back. But this is what Esau said. But the side behind it is obviously true. Like when there's more oxygen than Earth back in ancient times, everyone thing was bigger. The trees were bigger, the fruits were bigger, the animals were bigger, the humans were bigger. Right? So back to what you say, it's gonna go back to that. Earth's gonna go back to the way it was before. But Esau's just not gonna get that. You're gonna see exactly the same way. You're gonna build everything with your strength.
Yeah, your feeble ass strength. Right? Your dweeby ass strength, man. Yeah. You're not gonna have no sword to help you, no machine. Esau loves his machines and It's what do you call those? Excavators,
Yeah.
shit like that, mighty machines.
Yeah,
You ain't gonna have none of that, man.
that's right.
All right, use your fucking your strength, your no strength, actually.
Like, look,
Go ahead.
yeah, this is the book of Exodus 24, like Exodus 24, verse 24. And it reads, "For I will cast out the nations before thee and enlarge thy borders.
Mm.
And thou shalt
Wow.
any man."
Yep, that's right, man. So the Lord's gonna enlarge our borders, man. That's right. Even like I said, the earth's gonna expand, man. And our land is gonna expand. That land of Israel that you see now, that people say the land is gonna be bigger than that. That's right. You know, that's right. It's gonna be spiritually bigger, man. So you can't put a, we're gonna obviously we'll be able to measure it, but like as Israel expands, it's just gonna expand in the spirit. You know?
Yep. It says, "And thou shalt any man design a land where thou shalt go up to appear before the Lord Yahweh, and shall show thy power thrice in the year."
Right.
That was the guy that Passover. Yeah. That's one of them. I'm gonna believe on the Feast of Tabernacles. The Feast of same thing. I believe.
Or is it probably
Oh, it's the weeks. 9 seconds. Yeah, it's the weeks. Yeah. The Tabernacle is. I could look it up, man.
Right.
I'm second. Really, three times that all the individuals out to come back to the Lord. So they could Lord.
Oh, I have that. I'll put it on there. Oh man, I'm gonna get that one. I'll put it on. Yes, over brother. Yeah, this is just to add to that point you were saying. This is Deuteronomy 16:16. It says, 3 times a year shall all thy males appear before the Lord Yahweh thy power, in the place you shall choose, in the feast of unleavened bread, the feast of weeks, and the feast of tabernacles, and shall not appear before the Lord empty. That's right. Because the heathen they're gonna have to learn righteousness and unlearn all this nonsense that you learn in this kingdom. Because their ways, their customs, their gods really are no gods. Those ways don't actually bring forth life. That's why they have to come up, like it says in Isaiah, come up to the house of the Lord, the power of Jacob, to actually learn of their ways. They have to learn of all ways, because we're going to be the trendsetters of righteousness.
Yep. Book of Acts 2:1 reads, "And when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. And suddenly there came a sound from heaven as a rushing mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting. And there appeared unto them cloven tongues like as a fire, and it sat upon each of them. And they were all filled with the Holy Spirit and began to speak with other tongues. The Spirit gave them utterance. And they were dwelling in Jerusalem, Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven."
That's right. So all this, men, they required to go onto the land, and they're from different nations. Now they were scattered from across, right? But they knew they had to travel to the land of Jerusalem, man, because that was part of the custom. Right? Okay, the Holy Land, right? Separate land, man. Okay. You don't think when we're in our planet, wherever we're at, okay? It's time for the high holy days, man. We gotta go, hop in the spaceship, okay? Yep. And fly back to the land of Jerusalem, man. The land of Israel. Okay?
Yeah, quick point. Yeah, this quick one. To add the traveling, and even like the land of Israel, like there's other things we can be able to do. We'll be able to do interdimensional pockets and universes. We can make Israel. Israel can be the same land, but we can have a door where only we can go through, and it's like a whole vast another land within the land. There's so many things we're gonna be able to do.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah. So because we're gonna have all the knowledge of everything. Everything.
Yeah, because he started talking about like wormholes,
Yeah, exactly.
black holes, and all them things. Really, really, those are portals that they use to go in and out, right? In the chariots, right? They just defy gravity, time, all of that stuff, man. Space, you know what I mean? Physics, they defy physics, you know?
Yeah.
You can move it back a bit.
So many things we're able to do. Like, that's why Nate's saying that, well, somehow Esau's gonna come back and fight against us and take the kingdom back, and then we're gonna. It's like, what are you talking about? That's how you know he has demons.
We say verse 5 says, And they were dwelling in Jerusalem without, like a Jews, both men out of every nation under heaven. And when these were noise abroad, multitude came together and were confounded because every man heard that they would speak in his own language. They were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, Behold, are not all these which speak Galileans, and how we hear every man in our own tongue wherein we were born, Parthians and Medes and Elamites and dwellers of Mesopotamia.
So does this mean that they were actually of that nation? No. It just means that that's the land that they were dwelling in. Right? Like think about the Persian Empire, right? It was a vast empire. Oh, you don't think our people were scattered throughout that time period, man? You gotta just use common sense, man. It is what it is. Men always travel. I always gotta push this out. Because people act like you're just yeah, you're just confined confined to one geographical location. You know what I mean? Are you kidding me? Even now we have cars, we go places. That's right, yeah. Right? That's right. From time this is new modern day horse. You hop on your horse and you go places, right? Right. You want to hop on a chariot, you want to go to another land, you can hop in a friggin' airplane. Yeah. It's not an issue. That's right. Or go by sea. Pick your method of transportation. That's right. Because we had all of that back then. Right? People act like it's something new now. Okay? Well, we had means of traveling. Back then it was like horse, chariot, and by sea boat, ship. You know?
I'm gonna say you also have like the Apostle Paul, his citizenship was Roman citizenship, right? But still the condition of Benjamin, right? Sometimes also that unit with Book of Isaiah, and that unit that was basically living and basically you didn't understand. It's like not Book of Isaiah. I think it's one of our own books in New Testament. But basically was reading the Book of Isaiah, and he couldn't understand it. But then Philip came to him and he broke down to him. Like he was a unit of Ethiopia. Also, that was just his citizenship. That's why yeah. Right. You know, citizenship and separate things.
That's right. That's right.
Can I bring this over?
Yeah.
Second Corinthians, then, verse 25, and it says, "For though the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty to the Most High Yahweh, putting down strongholds."
And I was just bringing this up because in this society, the strongholds in our culture is that the physical landmass is your identity, and that's not the same. Like we all have a biblical identity, of course, and then eventually we have a physical landmass we were born on. That's all. But our people, especially our people, like especially Southern Kingdom, they think that their identity is tied to the landmass. Contrary, right?
It's good. It's good, brother. I think that's all it's saying. No, it's good. Yeah, it's right. It's good.
Oh, I was trying to make a point, I think. It's good. My said about you can travel around the earth, right? All over the earth, all people in the present captivity. There's even though in the part of it, I think it was school yesterday about the three slave trades, right? You had to like Sub-Saharan, you got the transatlantic, and you have the triangle, right? Israel was involved in that, and yes, our people in Africa were some of it, but Ham was a big part of that, right? So we went everywhere because they got slave traded into these major powers, and then we saw other people. So we went everywhere. We went to Turkey. We went everywhere. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, because remember the East slave trade.
Yep.
I was also it was not only the west coast of Africa, but also the east coast of Africa that we were being shipped off. Right? Yeah. Okay, so that lets you know our people are scattered all throughout that continent as well.
There's even a story about this is like a side tangent, but there's a story about a samurai in Japan. The thing is, Kusuke or something like that. Yeah, he was an African samurai, right? Because he was an African, and he looked so different to them. I think the story is that they went to go rub his skin to see his skin was gonna rub up. They never seen a man like that. Yatsuki. Yeah. That was his name, right? So like we went all the way down there, Moab, right? We're everywhere.
Those people in India that speak Punjabi. They, yeah, call them up.
Wait, untouchables or
Yeah, they're untouchable, but then
the city?
they look like us, but they speak the English. Yeah, that's their own community.
Oh, yeah.
They treat them like shit. Yeah, yeah. They have the last names are like they have like Arabic last names. Yeah.
And in Pakistan too, there's a community of our people. You know, all over Iran, Yemen, all across these different nations. There, they know these nations know us too. Yeah, they know when they come here, they let you know that's them.
Yeah.
But they're here. Like you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
a statement. They're here. They know who we are, but they don't. You know, and they know how we got there too.
Right.
But they're not gonna tell you. Oh, you know what I mean? Because that's the elephant in the room. Jake is the elephant in the room. Anywhere you walk in, you're the elephant in the room because people want to know. Do you know what the fuck he did to you?
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
You're not warring back.
Yeah. You're taking it easy. You know, you're good. You're a good one. Like, you know.
Yeah, so they always on the check you
Yeah.
out, like, yo, you
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
This thing I'm quite remember.
Yeah.
It's good, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. So I forgot. So you gotta move, right? You act like you forgot.
That's when it's so
I don't
uneasy
see color.
sometimes. Yeah? Like, they can't be comfortable around you.
So you have to smiling all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. They want you really because they want you to be like their lapdog.
Yeah.
Right? Because the dog, they always giving them attention and you know,
Yeah.
bringing them joy and shit. So they want you to act the same way. And when you don't act the same way, now they feel threatened.
Yeah.
Feel threatened for their life.
Oh, you remember stuff.
Yeah. Like, get out of here. I just come here, like, you know, and do the fucking job, work. Then we go fucking by the camera. Job get done.
Yeah. And then
You know what I mean? When the job gets done. You know what I mean? Don't try and make it seem like Jake's not capable of getting the job. A lot of these Edomites, they don't have the credentials to do certain jobs, but they still get the job.
oh boy.
Right? They might say, well, we need to go to school, this, you know, whatever, but this, that, and the third. They still get the job. They don't have no school, they know nothing. It's just because they're Edomites. Right? You now is Jake. They put you through that ringer, that hell, going into debt, into the slavery system, paying your way out, digging your way out of hell, you know, just to get a job to pay your bills and shit. Esau didn't have to do all that.
Yeah.
You know?
The whole you know that shit in the background of like glorifying now they're seeing a lot of them getting laid off.
Yeah.
Fired for that fucking
Yeah.
going to show that shit and they were bragging about it a couple of years ago. Last 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Esau showing you this shit doesn't mean anything because you niggas have it now. That anything we have it's in abundance. It's something that Esau don't need anymore. That's why they give us that fucking cash.
Yeah.
You know, cash, degrees, whatever the case may be.
Don't be surprised, like, even as this place goes to shit, don't be surprised if you come into some money too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because this place is going to shit.
Yeah.
He says, like, okay, I'll give you money. You know what I mean? What the fuck? It's going down. Like,
Best
you know? So what are you gonna What are you gonna do with it when you get it?
Yeah.
System shut down within a week or two or a month. What are you gonna do? You know? Yeah. This is Isaiah 55 verse 1, and it says, "Oh, everyone that thirsteth, come ye to the waters, and ye that have no money, come ye and eat. Yea, come and buy wine and milk without money and without price. Wherefore do you spend money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which satisfieth not? Hearken diligently unto me, and eat that which is good, and let your soul delight itself in gladness." And I was reading this because you made the point, what about people? They go into these institutions, these universities, and they spend lots of money, but they don't actually get paid for the substance that satisfies them. Right? So that's what the Lord saying, the bubble is one that is buy and eat without money, because we're not out here charging for understanding. We're out here simply outside that maybe you have received any deal, right? You know, so it's not like we're not out here, charging for breakdowns or whatnot. But our people, they essentially they have a mindset that okay, let me go and get this degree and think, if I pay so much money for it, it's going to be worth something. And that's contrary to what's actually going on right now, right? That's football.
That's right. Water.
This book of Deuteronomy 32 verse 35 reads, to make long vengeance and recompense, therefore shall slide in due time, for the day of the calamity is at hand, and the things that shall come upon them make haste. So the Lord Yahweh Shai shall judge these people and repent himself for his servants.
That's right. Lord is judging us right now. Right. It's also going to deliver us. Through him judging us is how we get deliverance, man. That's right. That's how we get corrected, fix up. All right. Be the rulers, the potential rulers, the hopeful elect that we're meant to be, man. It's not no light thing, man. We're in a serious office, right? So when we want to be the judges, man. But we've been getting judged here all our friggin' life, man. But these other nations, right? That's right. Doing us dirty, And we're gonna judge them righteous indignation, right? That's right. See what I'm saying? Any heathen look at us funny, man. It's gonna be a bad day, it's gonna be a long day and a bad day as well. And for your seed line too. Don't just think that we're personally getting you, man. We're getting whoever you love, whoever you're dearest to, your dog. Fuck it, we're gonna judge your dog too. You got a dog in this life, we're judging that dog too, man. I'm gonna put that spirit in you to remember that was your dog. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Bring all the
fuck
back.
Yeah. Fuck it, man. Fuck it, man.
Right. I remember like been 3 times or Jim Crow, like they were saying the dogs were jig.
Yeah.
Okay, the other dogs like that actually they let them tell you what, man.
Yeah.
Like you see that the one king, the spirit like the dog was today was that's gonna happen. Right. So that happened. So like in the scripture, the good dog bites is going to kill.
Yeah.
Like a cow like this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. All right. Because in their mind, they're like, no, I'm not afraid of you no more. If I fight, I'll kill you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I have to kill that dog. Because they'll do it again. And this time they'll actually take life. If they bite you, like, okay, you might survive. Next time they bite you, they're going for the jugular. You know what I'm saying?
Power, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what dog owners, dog trainers. Remember that Caesar guy? He always have power over the enemy, man.
Yeah.
One day,
He's Issachar, right? Probably.
Yeah. He got bit, but he knows in his mind he doesn't have any control over that dog. He got bit. That's it. Go move on to the next dog. You have to kill that dog. What's up? Right. Book of Exodus 11:7. It reads, "But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against a man with peace."
Yeah, but they sent dogs on us during slavery, right?
That's right. Yeah.
The hush puppy, or the not necessarily the hush puppy, but the dog. So what Jake did, they made certain cakes, right? When they were escaping the plantation, and they called it hush puppy. So they would just beat with that piece of like cake or the bread or whatever, and the dogs would sniff it out and they'll eat it, and it would pretty much deter them from following after them, from as they're escaping from the plantation. You know what I mean? But all that, them dogs, see those dogs that they sent on us, we're gonna send them on you.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
That's righteous. That's recompense, right? We can do that. We're not gonna be like you, Esau, and cut off rods and shit like that. We ain't gonna do that. So you're a sadistic motherfucker.
So and
Yeah.
Israel,
Yeah.
they're not gonna be exempt from judgment.
Yeah.
But they're second.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was gonna say that.
Yeah, that's
Like number 2.
judgment matter.
Yeah.
Like they're not really documenting. This is just from mainly for Esau's captivity.
Yeah.
They're not going to talk about how they were saying like Jake in the Arab world at that time. Jake is not worthy of procreating. That's why they cut our rights off. Man.
Yeah.
They listen to using.
Yeah.
So they're gonna get all of that back. But like the brother said, we're not gonna cut your rods off.
Yeah, but you never know. We can do it. We only have certain selected breeders of their nation.
That's right.
So you don't have to have sex. We don't have to have sex for it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Sex is a privilege.
Even David cut their horse Solomon, not Solomon, Saul cut their foreskin off, man. You never know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. So the Lord might even allow it,
Yeah.
honestly, in righteousness, not no weirdo shit,
But
but
still, bring 100 foreskin.
Yeah,
back.
100 foreskin, yeah.
man.
you know,
It's not price.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Correct.
Oh, no, you go.
Go ahead, brother. Because I want to say, like, you always say, like, you won't do that, but, like, I can't say the same thing for the Arabs, man. Ultimately, you're going to have the Arabs, like, that's how you do it. So who knows what they're going to do to you, man? Yeah. So, all that shit is helpless. It's actually, like, all crazy on you, and on them, and not us.
Yeah, no, because they'll still get judged. Why'd you do that? Why'd you strap up his back?
Because we're gonna get
You know?
copyright.
Yeah. So we'll allow them to do it, and then you'll still judge them.
That's right. No, we'll judge them. We'll judge.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
Fuck it.
No, they're not gonna put one.
We're not. You won't get copyrighted for shit.
Only if it's actually me.
Oh, okay.
Not if it's live.
Right?
Yeah, yeah, done there, like,
Not if it's live, though.
That'll be annoying.
No, yeah, it's gonna be another. Yeah.
Only if it's
Like if let's say they have a speaker and they're playing an actual song. Yeah. That's when they give us the copyright, whatever. But even with that, we're not gonna get it fully because we're not monetized.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
That's right. Not
You're right. So we're okay. They might what YouTube would do is like blank out the sound for the
yeah.
until it goes away. You know? But we're all right though. But yeah, we don't want no friggin' motherfucker playing music. We already played music right now.
I was gonna mention a point that additional number 2. So once we get rid of Esau, who do you think's the next guy on the list? That's what you guys keep forgetting.
the new number one.
Yeah, this is number 1.
Yeah. There is
Then you're number 1.
Yeah.
And it's not a coincidence that you guys are right behind. You guys are actually taught Esau how to do the slave trade and everything.
Yeah.
It's true. Esau just took it to the top of because they're the wicked. They're the masters of wickedness. Right? But you guys are number 2. Who's gonna become number 1? So you guys enjoy. That's why it makes sense why the whole Muslim Islam thing is so
big. Exactly. Yeah. The Lord made it that way.
Yeah.
Arabian in the desert.
Yeah.
Let you guys have your time, rule, and once it's done, that's it. That's it. Game over.
Yeah, because they're 12 princes also. Yeah. So that's what they're doing, whatever. Like now it's coming out that there's Ishmael, the Amalek.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Not all of them. One of them.
Yeah, they say so.
Yeah, then they're gonna be the number. That was it. Okay, yeah.
So it says, it says, 7, that you may know how the Lord Yahweh has put the difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
Right. Different things. You figure out. No. Okay. But then if you even the chick that does not know the truth, if you show them the difference, they're like, oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not rocket science. You saw just hide behind color. Yeah. Blackness and black, right? You know? Yeah. Even brothers here, all of us are different shade, different color of brown. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right. We're going to check our pictures,
Right.
Let people actually understand that we're going to.
Right.
You got Hamas, you got a tribe, you got a nation, Hamas. The same skin color, the same transaction, whatever. But you can't have the same experience on this man.
No.
But like now they have like two, you have like a two things, and the Hutus. It's like the Hamas. Okay, those are the so-called that and a lot of people, around Jews are also tribes in Africa. So you have different tribes. But they, West Africa, you have like different, Nigeria is kind of like a just their two, but you have Hamas, right? So I'm going to show you that, it's with the same skin color. Let me know you're the same people. Right?
Well, they can't even grow beard. That's how you know they're Hamlet.
Yeah, I never really see
I'm they can't grow beard.
No? Especially they might have a little mustache or something.
And they have so-called straight hair. They're supposed to have a long ass hair.
Yeah.
But they don't like.
Yeah, they don't have it. They don't have it. No? God, that's Exodus 11:7, and it says, but against the Oh, that's the spirit. Oh, you got it? Oh, bring it out, man. Bring it out. But against any of the children of Israel shall not the dog move his tongue, or against man or beast, that ye may know that the Lord Yahweh put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. Just because there's another nation, the same nation.
A lot of people still hang up on color, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hidden little bullshit.
Yeah.
That's like some truth with a bunch of bones in it, man.
Yeah.
Meat and bone. You know, you're like, oh, the Moors and this, and then he'll go into a fucking dumbass Somalians. Yeah. And go into some other nation that, you know, that's not Jake. Well, he left them all in one.
Yeah.
You know?
It's funny how he did all that just to now backtrack and differentiate.
Yeah.
It's only be for FBA. You know, like yeah, he pisses me off. Like he makes good points. I always say that, but then like he gets at the know, you know.
Living all over Somalia.
Yeah, he's always beefing with them. Yeah. But like you know, he gets at Caribbean Jake and African Jake. Like you're damn deep, man.
Right, still. Yeah,
You know?
right, yeah.
Mark their cousin.
He's even the man even like denounced or denied a person that's actually FBA heritage of being FBA because his mother was Puerto Rican,
Right.
But it died. But you gotta say like, how do you justify? How do you become FBA? Is it because of the mother or the father? Like they don't. He doesn't even say which one is which.
It's just what he feels.
Yeah. So that's bullshit, man. And look, you know, we already big up Judah, man. It's why Judah's at the top right here.
That's right.
Judah's gonna get their praise and reverence from all the tribes, man. They deserve it. You know, they're the one that paved the way. You know, Yahushai, right? So everybody's gonna get their just roots, man. Okay, you trying to divide the nation, man. That's keeping us from getting in order. Man.
But, you know, we already know how a Caribbean nigga went to the States, how we looked at Judah. We already
We know.
we're one nation.
Yeah. And we're not here for the no division, man.
That's right.
We're here for the 12 tribes.
Worldwide. Yeah. Like so, you know, I asked UPK, they were going off. But just saying, oh, everyone from Nigeria or everyone from Ghana is a Hamite. Yeah. We fucking retarded, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Fucked up.
we're dealing with the whole fellowship, man. That fellowship is played out, man. That's right.
Well, in Nigeria, there's a place called Fort Judah.
And Fort Benjamin.
Yeah, so like, what are you talking about?
Igbo land is literally,
Bro, that's how you know these guys are stupid.
yeah. Biafra, literally, they know that they're the Jews.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they were beefing with the other Jakes in Nigeria for that land. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's reoccurring. You know?
Really, what it comes down to is Esau putting the side up on you Jakes anyways.
That's right.
Right? Esau saying to the African Jake, well, you're better than that.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to the African American saying, oh, you're better than the African. Yeah. Like, so he's just going all over the place. He's going to the Caribbean saying, you're better than both of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, them niggas is lazy. Yeah, hard. Right? So that's Esau's doing. And then, you know, you feel proud. Oh, yeah, young boy, then lazy. Yeah, I got work. Yeah, I got work. Yeah, I got work 2-3 jobs. 2-3 jobs. But I make my money. Them young people don't want to work. You know?
That's all they say.
Yeah.
And they try to look down on Judah now.
But Judah puts in work, man. Judah's established in America, man. Judah is a working professional. Don't get it twisted. You might see Judah down and out, but you still have Judah that actually gets to the bag.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Way better than Benjamin.
Yeah.
Benjamin is called wake up in the morning at 6 o'clock and go to work.
Yeah. Because Judah in Harlem and shit, they were running all them
Businesses, man.
businesses, even when it came to like gambling and stuff like that, the lottery, they had their own system in place, man.
This
They was getting,
yeah,
man.
numbers.
Yeah. They was actually the money, man.
The numbers actually started with a Jake from Caribbean.
Okay.
But it was
I'm not
Judah
saying they start. Yeah, right. I'm not saying they started.
They only have restaurants.
Right.
Dumbass Jamaican or a Trini restaurant.
Right.
Judah had everything else.
Yeah. But the Trinity restaurant is owned by the damn Edomites anyways.
That's true.
You know?
Doubles.
Well, I was just there today anyway. But regardless, they make good food. So shout out to Elam.
Because it could be Jakes.
Yeah, they could be Jake.
Could,
You know what I mean?
could.
That's why their master second down the Caribbean.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Also the prop Jake, because now Jake thinks he's a Rasta. And you see Sizzler and all those guys with some big ass turbans. And when you watch the Brown did, same hairstyle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now the smoking weed now, they literally brought the weed out of the Caribbean. Ganja.
Yeah.
You know? And they don't even know that's giving credence to another god.
Right?
Yeah, the long headlocks, like Krishna or Vishnu. Vishnu. Yeah, Vishnu. Yeah, them niggas a bunch of Vishnuites, man.
Yeah, don't even know.
This is a book of Nahum 1 verse 2. You read the Most High Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, is jealous. And Lord Yahweh, vengeance. Lord Yahweh, vengeance, and is furious. Lord Yahweh will take vengeance on his adversaries and he reserveth wrath with his enemies.
Right. She is an adversary. That's right. You out here dividing the nation and stuff like that, man. We ain't got time for that, man. The nation building, so to speak. We're all building blocks to the to the temple, man. Okay, but you're trying to take it down, tear it down.
Every time I put one block up, he's pulling two
Yeah.
down.
But
Guess where he was?
Yeah,
The time with Ezra, man. He was right there.
Yeah,
With the
right.
niggas, man.
right.
The heathen.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I don't think it was just like he was just out of heathen. Jake was there too, man.
Yeah.
Babylonian niggas, man.
He's always selling out.
Yeah.
Taking a bag and working for the.
Ass niggas.
You need Jake to take down Jake. That's right. Yeah. Jake. All Jake have a God gene in them, man. They all have a God. You know?
God conflicts.
God. No. They have gene. Genetic code, right?
Oh, okay.
You need Jake to get Jake, man.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I think on Masala, like it was mainly Jake. The same thing when what's his name again? Tiberius Alexander. Tiberius Alexander. He had three names, but yeah, that's it's Alexander. Yeah, Julius Alexander Tiberius, something like that. The big time general in the Greek army. Coming up against Jake, beating Jake's ass.
He knows them.
Yeah.
You know your weak point. You know your pressure. It's
Emotional.
right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, these think it's the most. Yeah, crash outs. You know.
Yeah, man.
Just say something about his mama. You know, Jake gonna be back.
It's like now they have that Jake going at what's the president Traore.
Yeah.
They have a Jake over there now, like talking shit. Yeah, Burkina Faso. They have a Jake in the state. Oh, we're gonna go and get him.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Jake, the general.
The general, Jake General. They're using the Jake General. Yeah.
Black on black.
Yeah.
That I know the general Burkina Faso. That guy, he's actually like he's in the world, but he's actually standing up for his people.
Yeah, man.
You know. Of course, you get Jake. He's like, fuck this guy. He's trying to make it look bad. We're trying to elevate. No, he's bringing us back down.
Yeah, that's all that.
Yeah, it's because they paid him off. Paid him off.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna pay you millions.
It's all about optics too, right? If you had a Edomite general, you're talking down. It's kind of breaks, yeah. But you know,
True. It's true.
We know who's in the background.
yeah, we know who's running it all. We know who's pulling the string. Esau, you know, so-called white. Where is it, brother?
Right.
Bring it up.
Romans 16:17, it says, I'll read it in LT. It says, now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which you have learned, and avoid them. Right? So we're talking about these guys, like especially the what's his name? Tariq Nasheed. Yeah, Tariq Nasheed. Yeah. There's a bunch of them. Right?
Most of them are gone now. You know,
That's true. They take it out.
most of them are gone.
What happened to the other guy? The guy with the dreads. What's his name? Rolo or Polo?
No. I know you're not supposed. No. That guy got dropped out of the tree.
Yeah. What's his
That
name?
way she with the Jets.
I forgot his name. See, just Rolo.
Right. Gone. No one
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, he
You're
was
not
talking
being
shit.
an Israelite.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pharaoh?
Dreads with the dreads. Oh,
Long dreads.
shit.
hold on.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah,
Ringo.
Ringo.
See?
Ringo.
Legend.
Yeah.
The guy's name. This is fade away. And
Yeah, exactly. That's
Every time you want some views, you talk about the Israelites.
Yeah.
fade away. Like, you don't care. Like, you can't do anything against it. You can do it. When you talk shit about us, you're just bringing more light to it. That's what you're doing.
It's like telling your daughter, oh, that nigga's over there. Don't even talk to them.
Exactly.
Be curious.
Then she's gonna look at them. It's like, oh, I don't know. I don't know what
Exactly.
it is.
You're actually doing us a favor.
Yeah.
Even vocab, right?
Yeah.
Vocab is on this.
Doing good work.
Yeah, you're doing the work of the Lord. I have to say it. So this is what it is. We're not looking still alone.
They're coming like is an Nicodemus that came at night. Most of them are watching our videos.
Yeah.
And they're learning just like when Nicodemus came at night.
They're coming up on a quote unquote level.
Yeah.
Using
Yeah,
our
quoting
scriptures, but then
scriptures.
using it against us. though.
Yeah. Blue letter. Or
Yeah.
the Greek.
Yep.
Yeah. Now you're on a scholarly level, right?
Talk you niggas.
Apostle Tahara on down.
Yeah.
You know?
You're a little dumpy baby.
Yeah.
Man.
You're Gerber, man.
Yeah.
You guys are still sucking the brush,
Yep.
you know? Out here.
Talking about a letter. Christian talking about a letter. Wow.
That was it. That was it.
Read 4, verse starting verse 6. It says, "You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved the Most High to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemies. For you provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not the Most High. You have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and you have gripped Jerusalem that nursed you."
Yeah, brought you up out of it. Right? Captivity when you're in. Open the gate of captivity at that time. Well, you forgot about the wondrous work that the Lord did, and how He provided for you, you know, how He made food, He still had shelter, whatever, right? And you left with riches too, right?
Oh yeah.
Lord made sure you left with something. It was something, right? You made that's Jake's spirit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To build up our kingdom, build up our establish ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? It's like a severance. You know, the Lord made sure you had your severance. Give you gold and cattle and all type of shit out of you.
The woman all left with us.
Yeah. That's
Right. You know, so Lord had you on a level. You just have to wait a bit. Huh? You couldn't wait. But you love each other. You know, the leaks. Yeah. You know, the regrets not You know, you're Benjamin, right?
Yeah.
Because they're also thinking about, like, I used to go to the Nile and there's one fish, give me fish. I can't do that. We're in the wilderness. I don't, yeah. I have my routine's different now. I don't like this. Yeah. I'm gonna go back.
Because, like, remember, it's scripture say, the more they afflicted us, the more we multiply.
Yeah.
You know, so Jake was having a good time and he them earlier. Like, not to say they weren't catching hell.
Yeah.
But
They're used to it.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Yeah. They just want food, house, shelter,
That's
woman,
it.
you know? He aspires
Simple.
to plain land, brother, in 10, right?
Yeah.
Little weed. Yeah, a little weed.
There's Hennessy.
Little Hennessy, little cognac, right? And that's it.
Like those time when Barack Obama was president and they were shooting and Jake down and niggas were still fucking making babies.
Yeah.
You know, the same thing they were groaning,
Yeah.
protesting every 2 seconds, but they were still making babies.
Yeah.
You know? It's literally like the same thing. And we're seeing the same thing played out again. You know?
How in the hell could Jake be the minority in America? I'm talking about America. You know what I mean? When Jake having more kids than you eat with, right?
Yeah, like I was talking to this chick at work, my chick at work, and her and her husband they're going to the fertility clinic, right? And she's like, when I got up in there, she's like hundreds of women, wow, like she was in the virtual, definition, wow, yeah, all Edomites up in there, man.
Edomites?
Yeah, Edomites
Makes sense.
yeah,
Sauce meat.
yep,
Sperm's meat.
yeah.
Okay, that's proven by his side. Compared to Jake.
Yeah, because how they do it, right? They gotta
Yeah.
have sex on this day
Yeah.
when she's ovulating.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know, Esau shoot hella blanks out here, man.
Yeah. Busting blanks.
Yeah.
No one's getting killed out here. No club getting struck.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Esau's so strategic when he having sex.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Do it tonight.
Make sure it's a full moon.
Yeah, when it's a Sabbath, you know.
When you're done, shake her up, upside down.
Yeah, they gotta do all. Yeah, you probably lay on the bed.
Yeah.
Let the blood flow to the head or some dumb shit. Even my doctor recommended.
Yeah.
That's just to make the sperm flow there and flow whatever.
Who knows?
Another thing again with they're doing, when they get one or two children, they're snipping it.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
that's big business.
Yeah,
Eh?
yeah.
That's actually big business. He saw profits off of that. I'm his whole.
Yeah, it's supposed to like, once that thing is gone, you're not a man anymore. Once you can't multiply, you're Dutch. You're not a man. If you get old like 80 something, you can't, you can't get it up or whatever the case may be. Yeah. Like okay, David couldn't get it up. It's different. But like you're in your 30s, 40s, and you're getting snipped because you don't want to get any more children dying, man.
That's right. Yeah. He was wounded in the stones, right?
That's right.
That's not. You're not gonna make it into the kingdom.
There was a guy.
I agree.
You know.
There was a guy.
Good.
Yeah, just be back in the day.
Okay. Let's get that scripture though. Wounded in the stones.
I was gonna, there was a guy in my work, but same thing. Right, I was talking to him, the trainer. Yeah, lights were upstairs. Like he talked to him, there was some light in there. As soon as he got that second lead, lights were out. Like you can see the lights were gone. His eyes were glazed over. I looked at him like, "Yo, what happened?" He's like, "I got a second lead." He was talking about like it was normal. I'm like, "Oh, you know what you just did yourself?" Yeah. I was like,
And they're
"Oh."
doing it for the woman too.
Hey, that's why he did it.
Yeah.
That's where his wife.
For the bitch.
I was like, "Oh shit!"
You guys don't know, like, listen, man. A woman has a biological clock. She wants you to feel exactly like how the fuck she's feeling.
Exactly.
The fact that she can't have any more children at a certain age,
Yeah.
then you should feel like, because remember, they're afraid you're gonna divorce her. Realistically, you're supposed to leave the bitch.
Yeah.
Right?
We'll get another one.
So get another woman on the side.
Exactly.
Another wife. Get you more children, but man, this is so yeah. So spiritual. Good.
I'm saying, going to like those fertility clinics, they're so bugged out. It's where like they had to like this surrogates, right? Surrogates, like, they have surrogate like this like where like you have it's like terminate one woman, or it's like it's where like this like they harvest a man's sperm. That's bugged out. That's going out. Then like freeze it. Side. Those are freezes. You take the woman's eggs out. Yeah, they freeze them up, eat the eggs. Yeah, that's like when you're pregnant or
Right.
just ready.
Yeah. Yeah. So this could be whatever. Yeah. She took her eggs out at a fertile age. Let's say she's 40 years old now. And now she's ready to have a kid. So because the eggs are fertile now, whatever, they're frozen. You can artificially inseminate it, put the sperm to the egg, and then baby gets born that way. Weirdo shit.
That's good. That's good.
Get a surrogate, whatever. Yeah, all that weirdo shit.
So that really puts you like that's what shows you how bad it is. If you're a person, if part of the came upon those like those tests, that really puts you like in a great down mood. Okay, like if you really have people that walk in the earth, they came upon test you. That's so fun down, man. Like that's very vexing. Okay. Because we're supposed to be like we're supposed to be carrying the womb, we're supposed to be birthed out, to the vagina or whatever. Right? But put in like they freeze the eggs, freeze the sperm, okay, and they put it in some next person. Like that had like a couple of years ago, I came across the article. She had that the husband and the wife couldn't have children, but the wife couldn't have children because the son put his sperm in the mother's wife. What?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, man.
Well, that shit happens, man.
So that's like the mother's supposed to be the surrogate. Then once baby's born, that's like supposed to be like the wife's her daughter's son.
This is the smartest guy in the world, right?
Yeah. I mean that child his mother is his grandmother, also his mother is his mother.
Right. So weirdo shit.
Yeah, man.
That's literally going against the scriptures. Literally going against the scriptures.
Couple of confusion, man.
That's what they get for making fun of teen moms. Remember when our children, when they were having children at a young age?
Yeah.
Look at how they were making fun of our children, our women. Look at she's a teen mom.
Yeah.
They want you to wait until you're close to 40 to make a child. Now they're going through that bullshit.
Come.
Making fun of Somalians when they have like 6, 7 kids. Remember all that shit? When I was coming up, man.
Yeah.
Now they're like late 30s trying to have their first child. Crazy. Gray hair bitch trying to push us through. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, looking down on Jake, whatever, teen mom, 14, whatever. They try to get
These were the bitches pregnant at 14.
Yeah. They this place is upside down. The Lord allowed that, like in a sense, like still lets you know, women can get pregnant at this age.
Yeah, come on.
It still happens to this age. right?
That's right.
In Babylon, you know, it's a messed up place there, but in America, you have women walking the street at that age. You know, it's bugged out, but they are. You know,
Quick point.
go ahead.
Just quick. I think Margaret mentioned the point about the son putting his sperm into his mom's egg.
And then my Chris McKay, mother-in-law.
Was mother-in-law
Yeah.
still off?
Wife's mom.
Yeah.
That's his wife's. Oh, his wife's mom.
His wife's.
So his mother-in-law. His
So
mother-in-law.
his mother-in-law. Yeah, his mother-in-law. Yeah.
I'm confused, man.
Yeah. That's what
That's off, though. That's off.
Yeah.
because when you
Yeah,
do
you
that, that's
We have
so
to
just understand that when the woman takes on the man's seed when they're having a child, her DNA changes. Her DNA literally changes to the DNA of the man. So she literally becomes that man that put the seed in when she had the baby. If she just has sperm in her, the sperm stays in her head for at least seven years. Yeah. The brain, right? So that's why these women that have multiple men, that's why they're all bumped up because of different spirits on them. Literally. Which are different spirits. You know, woman is a fucking lion. Exactly. There you go. Yeah. Right? That was the point I was making. That's just fucked up.
We're going to script.
Yeah. This is book of Deuteronomy 23 verse 1. You read, he that is wounded in the stones or had his private members cut off shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Yahweh.
That's it. That's simple, man. You know?
There you go.
Yeah. You make it, bro. Yep. No. We get us from 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh? Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind.
Right. So you're cutting off your member, or you're snipping your what do you call it again? The part of it snipping. The vast difference? Yes, the vast difference. Yeah. Major difference. That's the major difference between you, a real man, and you. That makes you an effeminate man. That goes into Malako, being soft. Doesn't matter how masculine you appear, you can't have children. And a lot of them are trying to go back on. This guy was telling about a story that this guy went back to the doctor to reverse it. That's it.
Sometimes it reverses itself. Yeah, sometimes. That's the most I work.
Yeah.
Even with animals, when they do that, sometimes actually they connect back again. Yeah. Yeah, most like this is that fine. So once you do that mentally, you already got it. You chose to do that in your mind.
Fine. Whether it's Leviticus 18:5, and it says, "Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them. I am the Lord Yahweh. None of you shall approve any that is heir of kin to him. That's right. Uncover their nakedness. I am the Lord." That's right. We're gonna go into it. What's that's people that's close. Our relations with people that's close to your bloodline. That's wickedness. That's why your children become hard-hearted. Yeah. You know, they might get flagged, right? It's hard. Yeah. They might become slow, whatnot. Decent. Yeah. All of that. You know what I mean? You meant it. So the Lord's gonna outline what you can and can't do, who you can and can't, who can't, or who you can't deal with.
Right.
Kilo.
That's the main man on this list right here. Yeah.
That's the whole time.
Number one. Yeah.
That's the elephant ears and a tail. What's going on here?
Yeah. So Leviticus 18:7, and it says, "The nakedness of thy father, or the nakedness of thy mother, thou shalt not uncover. She is thy mother, thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. Nakedness of the father's wife, thou shalt not uncover. It is thy father's nakedness. The nakedness of thy sister, daughter of thy father, daughter of thy mother, whether she be born at home or abroad, even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover. The nakedness of thy son's daughter, or thy son's daughter's daughter, even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover." Right. So if your son has a daughter, or your son's daughter has a daughter, you can't deal with it.
So,
Okay?
Elam didn't get that memo. You know?
You going to do that?
He's gonna get in the kingdom, God. Yeah. Elam be touching his little
I thought you said Elon. My bad. Sorry.
Elam.
I thought you said Elon.
Oh, Elam.
I think Elon Musk. Yeah, that's what I thought you were saying first. Yeah.
Elam, yeah.
But Elon does that. Yeah.
That's his thing. No, we're not in the kingdom, though. You can't do that. I mean, our people be doing that shit too. Jake be doing that shit too, man. You know, like you talk to a lot of bros. That's the reason why we have a lot of boys in our yeah, man.
Yeah,
Because
Jake
they
been doing
touch
it too. Yeah.
maybe that's with a lot of higher sexuality, man.
In land of Benjamin, yeah, the Caribbean, that goes on a lot too because the land is so small, right? So it's just wicked. It gets wicked, man. You gotta know who your cousin. You know what I mean? You gotta know which, who's your family, who's not.
Yep.
You never know.
Mhm.
You a lot. Another the next thing too. Not to say Jay can't have kids or whatever. You go and make children, but sometimes his children, he's not telling the other children that, oh, this is
Yeah,
my brother and sister, and
I get the wife pissed off. My mom, she tried to get mad at my dad on one time because my dad had other children, like women that she knew.
right.
So then when like, yo, that's my sister. She's like, no, that's not, like, bro, that's my sister.
Yeah.
What
The hell
you
with that.
talking
The hell with that.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
feel because you and him are pissed off.
Yeah.
But no, you know what? That's my sister, bro. She
That's
look
right.
like us. What you
That's right.
talking about? You know what I'm saying? That's not a stranger.
That's right.
If me and her have a child, they might come out retarded.
Right. And that's another because that also is happening in these major cities too.
Oh yeah.
But Jake is whatever. Jake
Yeah.
doing this thing, whatever, having children, whatever, You don't know. You don't know if the girl that you're talking to could be your freaking
Yep.
sister. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
So this place is it's confused. Very confusion out here, man.
That's right.
The
fact that they don't want a man to have multiple wives.
Right.
Jake have to run and hide and duck and dodge.
Yeah.
Like a little boy.
Yeah.
You know?
That's how Esau wants it too, right?
Right.
He wants us he wants us feeling like him always.
Yeah.
Like a vagabond and a fugitive. He always wants us on the run, big.
Yeah.
Just like how he is.
That's right.
He's always on the run. So he's protecting and putting that on us.
Right. Now these women have taken up that philosophy.
Yeah.
Now they're talking about cheating. Cheating. That's all these bitches talking about, man. Oh, cheat. None of these bitches are virgins, man.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't tell us what to do.
All words. And these women are so wicked, right? We're not going to do it, but these women are okay. They're okay with doing a threesome.
Yeah.
Girls, one guy.
But then you can't fuck her by yourself.
Right.
They have to be there to
Yeah.
monitor and all that
Yeah.
shit. Get
Or
out of
you
here.
can't have an extra woman or whatever, or wife, another wife or whatever.
She wanna watch.
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
man.
You women are wicked, man.
They are.
Okay? That's what the scriptures call you. They say you're wicked. Women are wicked.
There's no wickedness of the wickedness of the woman.
Yeah.
Worst one.
More, right? That is more. Yeah, Leviticus 18 and scripture. Go ahead.
Fuck up what I was saying. This book of Proverbs 28 verse 27 says, look at Proverbs 28 verse 12. It says, when the righteous men do rejoice, there is great glory. But when the wicked rise, a man is hidden. It's like the saying, like, you have like that can hide, that can hide in what's supposed to be. I'm not sure. As a man, you want to procreate that based on where you see it. Again, one woman come up to know that. What's for women? Or what women are in authority. Now, perhaps that certain things are in secret. They have to do these things behind the actual doors. Yeah, but we're just like a community thing, what we have different wives and they all know each other. Yeah, and all get along so like one big lot of families. Yeah. But now it's like what do you have say like step brother or like I said it's like one say like one bastard, but man that's the same pressure now let's get a child right. That's it. That's it. Essentially able to hide it open. Right now, like the doors like hidden. You have a child, you don't save money. But because they can't have the same boom together, you know what I mean?
It's 18. Verse 12. Sorry, 10. The nakedness of thy son's daughter, or thy nakedness of thy daughter's daughter, even their wickedness thou shalt not cover. For theirs is thine own nakedness, the nakedness of thy wife's, the father's wife's daughter, begotten by of thy father, she is thy sister. Right. thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. Basically, what we're going into. You're not supposed to do that. But like when Jake is doing things out of order, I'm just having kids willy nilly, not with no order to it. That could happen, man. On this side, in the Western world, right? Right? Under Esau's rulership, right? The high IQ guy, right? Go ahead. It says, verse 12, thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's sister, of the auntie. Yep. She is thy father's near kinswoman. Right? Yeah. It's like, you watch Game of Thrones, that happened with Snow and the Dragon Queen. Yeah. Right? He found out that was his aunt. So first he didn't know, and then he found out, he's like, I can't do this. Like, if you say I can't do this, and guess what she said? Yeah. Like the years of doing this, it's for centuries. Exactly. You can get that. Yeah, wicked. It's wicked. That's why he's not supposed to do that, because he laid it down, right, with the wrong woman. She got hooked, and then she went crazy after that, right? Yeah, but he knew in the spirit it was off. It's like, that's how you know they read the scriptures too. They made that. That ain't is supposed to do. Because braided her hair. Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, they always braided their hair. Yeah, I'm trying to hear it. Yeah, braided hair, but it's put in the blonde. Yeah, to throw it off. Yeah, Edomites don't braid their fucking hair. Exactly. No. All right. The Edomites that do it, the Swedish ones, right? Maybe they're Jake over there. Well, they are Jakes. You know what I mean? Yeah. Some of them, for the most part. Yeah. Yeah. There's a NBA player, I think it's like Mark Hannon, Laurie Markkanen, plays for Utah Jazz. He looks like an Edomite, but he's not an Edomite. You tell he's with Jake. No? It's in the Parker. He's from them ants, Scandinavian ants. Yeah. Sweden and so shit. Yeah. You want somebody to talk about the other name, Spartan referred to. So the S. No, that's one of them, but there was another one, something as Mustard. But a lot of them are actually Jake, because they went up into those mountains with Esau, and they were calling themselves, I forgot the name of the calling themselves, but they came back down and they were calling themselves Iron Scots, right? The Danes, right? On part of that group team, the Danites, right? So yeah, some of them are Jake, but you got Esau mixing in there too, right? So that's when they came out looking at Esau. The back of that point you were saying, even Benjamin Franklin was so-called founding fathers of America. He wrote a letter to describing, and when he described the destruction of those countries listing, like generally, they were all sporty. Yeah, sporty. Yeah. Tawny. Yeah. Right? Swedes. Yeah. Call it German. Yeah. Black Germans. Yeah. That's what you know. This is everything. Now, think of Europe. You think of fucking Esau. Yeah. You know. Yeah. Oh, you could feel it. Yeah. Yeah, Beyonce and her feelings. Yeah. First. That's you're not looking at me like that. Yeah. And another thing, like LMA. Yeah, no, the feelings song. There's a girl, light skinned Jake. She makes a song, "Booed Up," whatever. Right. LMA. Yeah. Go ahead. I bet you the lesbian too. Oh wow. Yeah, there was a radio host. I was like, oh, my cousin used to deal with that girl. No, you're not into no man like that. Wow. Yep. You want to get booed up by a girl? Yeah. She never told you like it was who she was singing about. That's true. We never knew. It's like when Elton John was singing a bunch of love songs and then George Michael. It was a bunch of dudes that they were singing about. No? Well, I can sing Luther Vandross sang a lot of some songs. That's true. Can I take you home tonight? That guy's not talking about the boom. You know what I'm saying? Part-time lover and all that shit, bro. Let's get a bunch of boys. And girls to a bunch of black girls. Whatever you want to call them. Leviticus 18, verse 13, and it says, "Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy mother's sister. She is thy mother's kinswoman. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's brother, Thou, thou shalt not approach his wife, she is thine aunt. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy daughter-in-law, she is thy son's wife.
Yeah, so all you fathers like, oh my brother, my son's wife looks so good. All that, you know how nasty these nasty old jakes be are sometimes, man. All the time. Like said about barbershop and all those movies, that's all they do, man.
Yeah.
You know? Some weird shit. And the reason why this is coming out is because the nation before, that's what they did. Before moving to the land, we got these laws. That's what these fucking Hamites are doing, man. We're fucking their moms, their cousins, right? Eating all kind of shitty foods. You know, that's what the Lord gave us these laws. So that's what these nations are doing. That's what, like, anyone live in that land and don't practice the laws, you're gonna get kicked out. That's right. They got kicked out.
That's right.
That's what we got in there.
Exactly.
You know,
Holy man.
it's a holy land, man.
And going into the point about the nakedness, when you go back into the story of Ham, you know, he was uncovering his father's nakedness because that's in their spirit to be like that. You know, we weren't supposed to do that. Supposed to get rid of their, like this Wisdom of Solomon 12 describes as the odious words,
Right.
because you're not supposed to have that type of mentality towards your family members. That's right, right?
And your father was nakedness also because it's his wife. Right? Because him and the wife become one. So yeah, that can go to both.
Continuing on, Leviticus 18 and verse 17, and it says, "Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter."
That's another thing that's prevalent in this society.
Yeah.
How many dicks, you know, like he's having sex with a mom, yeah, and he see a young daughter, and he wants to fuck her too.
Yeah.
Oh my
Or vice versa. You got the daughter. She's the mom, though.
Yeah, the vice versa, yeah.
It doesn't, yeah. He's either he's dealing with the mom, or get the daughter, and or he's dealing with the daughter, then he wants the mom too.
Remember that's what Stacey's mom got going on?
Yeah.
That's exactly what this is.
Yeah. It's greedy. That's right. They got one, Joe.
Really got Stacey.
Yeah, right. That's a market.
Legit, that was an example like that.
Yeah, it's a bunch of
Man, it's a lot of there's so many stories.
on Instagram. There was one with the Jake with the mom, the daughter, the aunt, all of them. And I do you smacking their asses, all this stuff.
They're bragging about
It's great. I'm like, what the yo, you have anyways. I don't want to connect it.
People like that, they gotta be taken out, man.
the whole, all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody. I'll bring the whole household, cut their heads off.
You remember? Birdman. Yeah. Yeah.
Man, go ahead.
Leviticus 18 and read 17 again, and it says, "Thou shalt not cover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter, neither thou shalt take her son's daughter, her daughter's shall cover her nakedness, for they are her dear kinswomen. Right. It is wickedness. Neither shalt thou take wife to her sister to vex her, to uncover her nakedness besides the other in her lifetime."
Right, so that's jealousy, right? That brings out jealousy. You know? Because remember, it happened with Leah and Rachel, so the Lord trying to prevent that, you know, that amongst Jake and the woman, you can have another woman, man, you know, another family, you know, because you're gonna piss her off. You know, and rightfully so. You know? That's the reason why that was in there, because of our origin. Right?
Yeah, when in the beginning, like Leah was one of the children,
Right.
and the Lord shut up her womb. So obviously, in a woman's mind, and she wants it with children, it's going to be some kind of like animosity, of course, for like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In her mind, right? So
They could have to go through well, man. With that woman. You know?
Continuing on verse 19, and it says, "Thou shalt not approach unto a woman." Go ahead. "Thou shalt not approach unto a woman to uncover her nakedness, as long as she is apart for this." Verse 20, and it says, "Moreover, thou shalt not lie carnally with thy neighbor's wife to defile for herself with her.
So now that's
Yeah.
very prevalent in this society, right? That's all Jake brag about in his songs, right? And even before these songs came out, they were doing this willingly. I don't remember the milkman week, the milkman's my father and all that shit. This was way before rap music came out. So that's why you know this was going on way before all this shit was like pretty much televised and broadcast. Right? They were doing this from day one, man. Right? Yeah. Your husband down home, milkman, you might find the milkman attracted postman. That's it. Give him the pussy next thing you know. She's pregnant. Yeah. And that's his, that's his son, and you think it's yours.
Like his neighbor too. Like they got the show of the movie Friday, where he got Miss Parker.
Yes.
Right.
Ton.
You see right there in the movie, she's committing adultery. It's this whole like part of it's just not. It's funny.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's just like bro.
And that bitch should have been stoned to death.
Oh yeah.
Oh, don't start with the ass.
Short
Yeah.
hair.
The little shorts. Yeah. She was pretty much welcoming that vibration. Man.
Oh yeah.
So Jake already know what they're like sharks when they're still fucking blood in the water. You know where they're gonna go. Go on it, man.
That's really that Proverbs where it talks about the man that with no knowledge, and there was a woman that enticed him, and then he got caught up. It said that he had no knowledge, and he wasn't aware that he was important.
Get that. That's a good one. 6:26. Hold on now. Yeah. Break it down. Hold that one. But you still finish up this and then we'll get that.
Yeah.
Yes. 21. And it says, thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech. That's pretty much the point. Oh yeah, you're not supposed to sacrifice your children unto other gods. All right, we celebrate Christmas. All right, like Nimrod, whoever, man. No gods, man. Those dearly. So what I like to get, we're gonna get that, Proverbs that account. Type in perfume.
I found it.
Oh, you found it? Yeah.
You're talking about a different one. Yeah.
Okay. Which one is it? Proverbs though?
That's
Right?
Proverbs.
Yeah.
Proverbs.
8,
7.
7.
You want me to start from the top or you want me to like? I think because I kind of have to read.
Yeah, read from the top.
Okay. I read
We
from
got time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. In Proverbs 7:1 KJV, it says, "My son, keep my words and lay out my commandments with thee. Keep my commandments and live in my
Now,
law."
keep the Lord's commandments and live. This is for us to live, man. The law is how to live and live. Right? Avoid death. Remember, we brought it up, right? The Lord didn't create us to die. He didn't create man to die. No, he created us to live. He created every creature to live. Again, he created Esau to die. Esau, you're dead.
Go ahead. It says, "And my law as the apple of thine eye. Bind them upon thy fingers, write them upon the table of thine heart. Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman. That they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger which flattereth with her words."
Minds. And these preposed. The adulteress that will hunt.
Yeah.
Hunt for your soul, man. A lot of these women, they're really just trying to conquer your soul.
That's it.
Yeah. They're trying to see how they can break you and extract resources from you. And then once they've conquered you, they feel like they don't need you anymore. They've disrespected you enough, right?
Yep.
They're on to the next. That's it.
Yeah.
So if bitch complain, oh, you're so mean, you're so rude, then I'd rather be so mean and rude than
Nice.
take for nothing, take for food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fucking nothing like me.
They won't respect it.
Yeah.
Respect on my name. It says, "For at the window of my house I looked through my casement and beheld among the simple ones, I discerned among the youths a young man void of understanding."
I started with Judah.
Yeah.
Big top simps. the kingdom, the tribes.
Yeah. Wait, hold on now. Hey, man. I feel the whole nation is a bunch of them, man. Who do we give number one to?
I'm giving it to Judah first.
Yeah?
You know, I mean Solomon, right?
Yeah, come on.
It makes sense, Judah.
Judah.
Oh,
That's-
it's the car, man.
yeah, okay. Benjamin's up there. But the whole
Right, holy.
Benjamin is still stiff on a gal though.
Oh,
You know what's funny? You don't really hear dads simping like that. That hard. I'm not saying it doesn't happen,
yeah,
but when you don't really hear about dads simping for a woman,
that's true.
you don't really hear about that. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Obviously, it happens. It's not like a thing.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
I usually like I'm the man.
We're not around them that much.
That's true, right? So I think that's what I did.
You have to be around them to know.
And I don't hear about dads doing that. But obviously, it has to.
Yeah, but you know what? Judah is number one, man.
Yeah. That's Judah.
Yeah.
That's what you had to say, huh?
Yeah, think about it. Because he gets the most disrespect.
Yeah. That's right.
He gets the most disrespect.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you still yeah, like most of the chips, they're all women anyways.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there you go. All the chips like you see on radio on TV, all the women.
Oh, the what?
Esau allows that. Yeah, Esau set that up.
And some of them hoes are not even get it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really right. The men of our nation are not trying to put that's right on a level of less than selling out.
Yeah. But my mom is having big meat.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here, man. We were going to your father. My grandmother was a quarter baby. What?
Yeah.
We're Indian.
Yeah. It's a lot of science. Yeah, she sold out to the devil. Anyways, she opened up to the devil. So fuck out of here.
It says passing through the street near her corner, and he went the way to her house. So he got her, right? In the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night. And that's usually what these women do. They usually do it at nighttime or in darkness. It's a cool thing. Secrecy, right?
Yeah.
And behold,
Niggas is hopping out of fucking 2-story, 3-story buildings.
Hanging off.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because the band came home, right?
Yeah.
All that for some pussy. What? Is that good?
When the man put them to death, then they go to jail.
Yeah. That's the bullshit of Esau. Right?
Yep.
You can't get no real justice, man. That's why I started off like, how was I gonna get us that justice?
That's
man,
right.
Our vengeance, man. No, we need it, man. We can find the cure, finally.
Yep.
But a lot of shit that hasn't been pretty much recompensed in a sense. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Pent up.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You mentioned it last week when you were talking, you said, like, don't be surprised if you look at women like making it down the times of like Jacob's trouble. It's Isaiah 4:1, and then your woman, the main woman you had just dropped it, so just kicks her out.
Yeah.
You committed adultery on you. You didn't know about it. Because the Lord didn't want you to know because it would have distracted you from the truth.
Yeah, this head bombed off with a bullet.
Yeah. Wait.
That's it. Go on.
It is what it is. That's the mindset you gotta have on sites. Yeah. Whoa. What about wolf dog and this? He's eating my dog.
We said this is Habakkuk 1:4, and it says, "Therefore the law is slacked, and judgment does never go forth. Wherefore the wicked does compass the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceeded." That's exactly what's occurring in society, because Esau is he's not righteous, so type of judgment is going to break forward. He's not going to be righteous, right? He's a profane word, right? That's why he shift. It's proper judgment and a proper judgment.
That's like that's got to be our side. Because I saw the stuff before, like a man in what that getting for some argument. You know what I mean? Right? Elon losing his grip. Losing his grip, man. But you can see how like she can even accuse you. There's no evidence. You're gonna go to jail, bro. If you and your woman get some domestic shit, and she brought the police for you, you're going down. You're gonna be in jail for like at least a month, a couple of weeks before someone bails you out. So if they bail you out, last the man put his wife on the bed. She called the police. Little push on the bed. Now he's in jail. I'm saying?
It's a wicked world, man.
So fuck the man. You know, I'm happy because Elon needs to go through that shit because they hate Jake.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. You're right.
Fuck Elon, man.
But just imagine that's happening to Jake.
Yeah,
And then you,
but Jake don't call the police for anything. Because you don't trust you. They already know how Esau is, man.
and Esau knows that too. But they're not here to help us, man. If you actually have a actual problem and something you need them to handle it, they're not here to handle it. They don't want to help. They really only set up to help Esau. Yeah. So, you know, if Esau has a genuine concern, he's gonna but you're not yeah, you know, gonna help you, but they're not gonna help Jake. You know,
Because the original purpose of the police wasn't even for Jake.
right?
It was yeah, that was it before.
The whole system is based on Jake. Like the catching, the housing in the prison, the court system, everything's based on catching Jake and releasing him back. Kind of shit. Yeah,
Yeah, catch release, catch again.
yeah. Offending.
You reoffend, it gets you. No, you're gonna run out of bail sooner or later.
Yeah.
Right?
That's bounty hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dog the Bounty.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that show. Yeah.
Yeah, the true was out there in Hawaii, those Hawaiians, the true fucking the true vagabond. He needs to be bounty hunting. Yeah, but he's out here bounty hunting.
Yeah.
You know.
Go ahead. Verse 10 it says, and behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot and subtle of mind.
Yeah. So looking good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. It's just twofold, too. Right? It's all going into philosophy and mind and all that. You know. But it needs certain philosophy entice it, man. You get enticed. Yeah. If you don't, if you're not guarded, but the armor, the armor, right? Especially when you six, right?
Right.
You can get caught up. You don't have to shoot. You're done. You hear something? Oh, I don't know. I heard. I don't know. I don't want to put that vibration out. I'm just saying.
What's the other one that they're pushing out there right now? That was in Samaria. Fallen angel.
Right.
They can't break that down.
Right. You know? See what I'm saying? So you gotta be careful, man.
It says, she is loud and stubborn. See, this is already talking about the Jacob. She is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. Oh, what is the word? Nice. Girls night, but there's a term that you use for a woman that stays at home.
Homebody?
Yeah, homebody, yeah. But usually when they say I'm homebody, they're not a homebody. The opposite. They're at the club,
Be outside.
boys outside, girls night out, oh, I'm going to girls trip, right? But you're a homebody.
Yeah, man. That spirit of men is gonna come back, man. When you pictures are not seen.
Yeah.
You go on a little vacation and you feel uncomfortable. You want to jump in that plane to come back, right? That's gonna come back because all this whole I want to see the world. That's gonna come to an end real quick.
That's a manly spirit.
Exactly.
That's a manly
That's
spirit.
the moment of all the time.
Yeah.
That is a manly spirit because it was men that would get up and go.
Yeah.
I go back in a couple of fucking months. If he comes back, get a new wife and everything on the other side of the world. You know, there's no letters and text, so sure you know it's done. Oh, they want to be the one doing the exploring.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christopher Columbus.
Yeah.
You know, exploring. Boom. I want to go to Bahamas next week.
Yeah.
Come back.
Yeah.
I want to go to Jamaica. You already know what they're going to do in Jamaica. The Sunday rats.
Yeah, they're gonna go to massage.
Those man's doing, you know how to,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, it says,
I had a question. This is to rock 5:45. It says, give the water no passage, neither in wicked open liberty to God abroad.
That's how you see the society, man. Right? Women are just out and about, dressing like pure fours, right? But you can't look at them. You look if you're yeah. You know? Go to these clubs down here, it's all of them lined up outside, right? That's their father's fault, man.
Yep. I did a video like yesterday. This bitch disrespecting her father because her younger sister, I guess, told her the situation how the dad got mad at her about what she was wearing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And basically, the older daughter is calling the dad up and what's the issue? What's like basically
Right.
the dad back
Checking.
yeah, checking the dad, disrespecting the father.
I'm like, you know, honey, where are you?
And then disrespecting the dad to the point where going online and outing his business.
Wow.
So now he becomes a laughing stock. So this is how your daughter treats you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But he allowed him from because basically what happened was the daughters probably seen the disrespect that the mother was giving him,
Yeah.
as well as maybe like the aunties and whoever, his sisters,
That's right.
his mother was giving him, and they felt empowered to disrespect him as well.
Right.
You know what I mean?
There should be a little bit like
Yeah.
their fathers, man. It should be like, look, this man can put my mics out.
Yeah.
You know?
That bitch was 18 anyway, so she can get the fuck, she can kick rocks, she can get out the house. For all I
Go
care.
to- yeah, go.
If you want to dress like a whore, just you want to dress like a streetwalker, go out in the streets. You know what I mean?
That's abuse.
No, she's 18.
Yeah, I know them, but that's what they'll say. Oh, that's abuse. You're being, you can't do that. That's your child. You gotta take care of her. Even if she's got her, you gotta, you know.
Man, you're supposed to treat your dad to death, man. You're supposed to treat your father to death. Yeah. The respect of fear is gone, man. Yeah. It's not even about love,
Yeah, it's not about
right?
Oh,
When you watch the movie Princess, Denzel Washington broke that down to his son, man. I don't feel like you. You know, it's sitting there with the daughters, man. If you guys want to be best friends with your fucking daughters, you can't be best friends with a little with someone that this small, you see him come all the way up. Supposed to be, you know, that hierarchy up and stay there all the way to the end, man. When you're in your deathbed, you know?
Exactly, which comes back to what you said. It comes back to the father establishing that fear.
You have to establish that fear with the children, man. They have to respect you. You know, because there's no way she should be calling her dad checking her. That's crazy.
yeah.
Checking her father.
I was gonna disrespect. That be vexed. I was like, I do it maybe I This is how low this place has gone, man.
Right. Give that bitch too much water, too much passion for the water to yeah. That's what the Arabs and all those other nations, that's what Elon was trying to like hold on to the fucking trying to block that passage.
Yeah.
But Esau always block one is fucking water. Water free.
Because the thing is, they're going for Elam now because they need to make more. They need to make money.
Fine.
There's not enough Jake.
Yep. They already
Keep charging.
conquered Jake.
Here they already conquered Jake.
Jake is not calling them anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But they don't help. They don't do shit for us.
Yep.
So they have to go for the next best thing, which is Elam.
That's why they brought them in here, man.
Yeah. They brought them in for like to tax them
That's right.
and get put loans on them. So they for debt.
Yeah.
That's what they brought them in here. So then when they're getting charged, and you know, for that's money. That's more money for them. They fill up their prison systems and stuff like that. That's why it's working, and it's working.
They're bringing in a bunch of you know how many criminals over here, man.
Yeah, they're actually purposely bringing in criminals too, degenerates. You know?
Yeah. It's good because these Elamites been looking down on Jake for years. Even that motherfucking Gandhi, whatever his name is, he had a name for Jake, I think Copy. It's calling Jake the N-word pretty much in his language. So you don't like Jake. And if you lose the woman to Jake, watch. Yeah. So it's gonna happen. Yeah. You know?
Switch it.
Yeah. Get first. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. First.
Well, I was gonna say you mentioned a point about Elam. Quick point. Part of the reason why that's happening too is because Jake's starting to wake up. Jake's starting to wake up slowly. Like, you know what? Why we should start our own business? We should start doing this.
Yeah.
Why are we working these jobs? Right? We've been working these jobs for start our own business. We need us anyway. We're not stupid. We're smart. We gotta tell it.
They do need us.
Yeah, they do. Elam not doing shit. No. All he knows how to do is open up a little fucking store. But in the majority of them, guess what they want to do? Work security. Yeah. They don't want to do nothing else other than like uniform jobs and just sit around. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, just a quick account here. This is Esther chapter 1, verse 17, and it says, "For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes, when it shall be reported to King Ahasuerus."
Yeah, so not to cut you off again, but this is when the queen slapped the king in the face. Oh, right. Fish, Vashti? Yeah, Shlinshi, yeah, Khan.
Oh, yes, yeah,
Yeah, she's up and then like, yo, you gotta cut this bitch off, man. The other way, yeah. But the princess go, man, because like if all the issues are heard in the court spreads, all these bitches are gonna do the same thing, man. So yeah, Khan, 100% bring it on.
before you continue. And that will lead to men trying to usurp it.
Yep,
So it's just show weakness.
exactly.
So like, yo, this guy's weak, he can't control his women.
Yeah.
We gotta take this guy out. Let's see this thing, like, stop it being weak.
Yeah. He has, might have his brother.
Yeah.
But that's us, and that's us now. And that's us now pulling the tail on Esau, or
Yeah.
pulling the heel on Esau,
Yeah.
tugging at the heel. Because this guy's weak now. This thing is done. Yeah, he my women. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They love it.
All of it from above.
That's why they hate us. So we can get their job.
Yeah,
video.
They get our thing was done.
Yeah, I think we're
Our
done.
thing to finish.
We don't even need to bring back
Whole video.
the kingdom.
Come on, yeah.
One thing, photos,
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's what it is. That's what the organization is pretty much finished. You can't control your women.
exactly. We're not here to control no wildebeest. Only Esau can control the wildebeest. Black woman, right?
Can anyone see those Targaryen dragons? What would take a specific person?
Only Esau.
Only Esau can deal with dragons.
Charmer, yeah, the snake whisperer, yeah,
Horse whisperer.
yeah. Only he, yeah, the beast master. Only think of beast man to tame the beast.
That's it, man.
You know? So it is what it is.
We threw our hands up a
Yeah.
long time ago.
We ain't here for that.
But the funny,
Yeah.
even in that show, Game of Thrones, the funny thing about that show, there was only two bloodlines that can control those dragons. It was the Targaryens and the Jakes that had the Valerians. The Valerians are actually older than Targaryens, but they're all Jakes. They all look like Jakes.
They didn't get into the witchcraft. That's what it was.
Exactly. Right? But they're the only two that can control them. This, ironically, one was dark skinned, one was
Yeah. Jacob and Esau.
Jacob and Esau. Right? Anyway. Yeah, I know. There's
They know
difference.
it's different.
Yeah.
They know there's a lot of shit.
A lot of times, us.
Because Jake loves that show, eh?
Yeah.
Like, my mom watched that show and shit. Like, good show. Love that show.
Oh yeah, that's my
You know what I mean? But the reason why we love that show, because that was us.
And even Disney too, because when you watch remember Shrek?
Yeah.
The donkey and the dragon was a woman that turned was it was a princess that turned to a dragon, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go deep into it. That's our woman, man. Princess that turned to fucking dragon.
Dragon.
That's
Oh.
why she was in love with donkey. A donkey was a boy that turned to a donkey
Yeah.
with the magic or whatever.
Oh shit.
You know? So it was a woman and a man, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh wow. See, they're just doing it in their faces.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Was like it was yeah.
That's good.
Oh no, this is a little bit more. Esther 1:18, it says, likewise, shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto the king's princes, which have heard of the deed of the queen. Thus shall there arise much contempt and wrath. If it please the king, let there be told a royal commandment from him, and let it be written upon the law of the Persian speech, that it be not altered, that Vashti come no more before King Ahasuerus. Let the king give her royal estate unto another that is better than the king. So when the king decree, which we shall make, shall be published throughout all of his empire, for his grace, all of their wives shall give to their husbands honor, both great and small, because they didn't want what Vashti did, it trickled down onto the regular everyday women. That on everybody in that empire was okay. You might have had some guys that were probably like a cupbearer. The cupbearer is honorable. You know, maybe there was some guys who would be a bricklayer, stonemason, you know, but they didn't want that vibration of that woman trickling down. Like, oh, that's happened to the king. Oh, I can talk shit to my husband. Yeah, right. So they had to essentially dip in the butt right away. So
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's how you got wickedness.
right. Yeah. kidding me? That was it though. That was the point.
Oh,
Yeah, Edomites. Huh?
I don't know that. What's the song called from back in the day on the love train? Let all hold hands.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right there. Well, yeah, you're right, brother. That was that, and the scripture talks about like in the law when it says like certain things, just you have to like put that person to death, so that everyone can see you can't do that shit, right? Because shit goes downhill, man. The king's getting disrespected, and everyone in the court there while is talking shit, all the way down, like you said, to the common man. And all you say is decide.
Yeah, did the same thing. With Saul's daughter.
Yeah, that bitch had to put her away. No more dick until she was dead. She was dead, yeah, no more dick.
Yeah, that's it. She got cut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no child. So you didn't see me.
That's easy work because he had multiple women. He had the little one, I mean, monogamous, imagine that.
Because of the law, and she did something. Listen, first of these are things, so everyone would have known that she couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So you can't consider adultery. And if she did, she would have put to death.
Yeah.
Right? So she's done. Like you're screwed. Okay, so verse 12, it says, now is we're gonna close this.
How far is
It's
almost done.
You know, it's the floor. Oh, it's just law. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, verse 34. You read the word of the Lord Yahweh that came to Jeremiah the prophet against Elam in the beginning of the reign of Zedekiah, king of Judah, saying, thus said the Lord Yahweh Shemashai of hosts, behold, I will break the bow of Elam, the chief of the might. And upon Elam will I bring the four winds from the four corners of the earth.
That's right. That's right. You bring them to Canada. You know what I mean? Get fuck up here, man. That's right. You're hated. You're the most hated now. You know, in Canada.
Very true.
Right? You're hated in the UK. You're hated in all over Europe.
Yeah.
All over Europe, they hate you over there, man. Italy is them now. All these European countries is them, man. Yeah. Right?
Elam and Ishmael.
In Guyana, you do it here witchcraft. You're sacrificing Jake.
Right.
Jake's riding against you. Right? Yeah. You might say that, man. Go ahead.
It says, after the Lord Yahweh Yahshua force, behold, I will break the bow of Elam, the chief of their might. And upon Elam will I bring the four winds from the four quarters of heaven, and will scatter them towards all those winds. And there shall be no nation whither the outcasts of Elam shall not come. For I will cause Elam to be dismayed before their enemies.
That's right.
And before them that seek their life.
Yeah. The curses are jumping on you now. Nigga.
Right. Starting with the women.
Yeah.
I will bring
Jailbird.
Yeah.
And I will bring evil upon them, even my fierce anger, said the Lord Yahweh Shemashai, and I will send the sword after them till I have consumed them. And I will set my throne in Elam, and will destroy from thence the king and the princes, said the Lord Yahweh. It shall come to pass in the latter days that I will bring again the captivity of Elam, the Lord Yahweh Shemashai.
Right. So that was a future prophecy. That was a football about Elam. And it's actually playing out right now. Right. Okay. The Lord has all you nations judgment written out. Okay. And after that, Elam, you're going into slavery under the Israelites.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah. Fine.
So with that, we're gonna close up. Give all glory, praise, honor to.
Yeah.
We can say Kwame Asharala. Say a Bible ball.
Shalom.
What happened?
Oh shit. What happened? Rolling.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
That's rolling right now.
Shalom on the comment board as well. Shalom. Yabashim Shai Bakata.
You know, right?
Oh, yeah.
Stay long.